Sometimes things in life, things in our experience, just don't resolve. They seem to hang there as if stuck between time and space. This week on A Psalm for Today, we are talking about Psalms for uncertainty. Those times when we just don't know. I feel this often when I pray for an elderly person that has a disease and they're asking prayer for healing. It's a tension within me. It's a paradoxical tension because I know they long to be here another day, another week, another year. At the same time, I know that they've had 90, 95 years of life, and that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And I feel that tension between, Lord, I pray that you would heal them, and I pray that you would also give them comfort if it is their time and opportunity to enter into eternal life. Sometimes in those moments of suspension, we just don't have the words for what we're experiencing. Stuck in the pain, we might say. In my field of study, trauma and trauma-informed practices, we learn how quickly the brain can develop a pattern that becomes on repeat. It becomes part of the default mode network. It becomes part of those neurological systems that run automatically. You know, your pre-conscious thought, I have been told, measures things at the speed of 6 times a second. This is before you ever think it. It's being calculated or calibrated or considered 6 times a second. And sometimes the painful experience gets logged in there that quick. I mean, just you see one car wreck and then you can see it for the rest of your life. You can get one diagnosis and experience that pain for the rest of your life. Sometimes these things don't resolve. And Psalm 88 is what we are considering today. Scholars would call it the darkest psalm in the Psalter. And it is one of the most important for uncertain times, precisely because it does not resolve. Precisely because it does not resolve. Sometimes it's best to just be able to sit and embrace the lack of knowing. Somebody wrote a book called The Cloud of Unknowing. I'm talking about sitting in the moments of life where we just don't know. It just doesn't resolve. In fact, Psalm 88, listen to how it opens. It says, Lord, you are the God who saves me. Day and night I cry out to you. The Psalm 88 opens with I cry out to you, O God. Notice the ending verse, verse 18. You have taken from me friend and neighbor. Darkness is my closest friend. The psalmist in Psalm 88 is not afraid of the pain, is not afraid of the darkness. The psalmist does not enjoy the pain. The psalmist does not enjoy the darkness. But the psalmist is comfortable in sitting with the pain. I've been around several people who've passed away with this scenario happening, and that is they are ready to go into a glorious fellowship with Christ in eternity. And somebody walks in with, if anybody had faith in this room, they'd be healed right now. Everybody with doubt, out. And robbing the moment of the beauty of sitting in the suspension, sitting between heaven and earth. By the way, Christ died between heaven and earth. And that is a fabulous illustration of Psalm 88, in my view. Jesus is not on the earth, as it were. He's on a cross. Jesus is not in eternity. He's alive here at this realm. And so he's between the ages, so to speak. This Psalm 88, gives you permission, me permission, to be right where we are. Maybe right now you are in deep depression. It's okay to be there. It's okay to be there. Maybe right now you are in a season of conflict with another human or a system. It's okay to be there. And one time I saw a doctor, and I was new about mental health issues and still learning. And he talked to me. He's a Christian doctor. He talked to me about mental health. He talked to me about pastoral stress. He talked to me about chronic stress of funerals and shootings and, fill in the blank. And he gave me a prescription. I go to the Carr's grocery store on Muldoon and Northern Lights in Anchorage, Alaska. I hand my prescription. I walk around the store waiting for them to fill it. Pretty soon they call my name. I walk up and they slide it back to me and they said, "We can't fill this prescription." I said, "I've been waiting here all this time. You can't, why didn't you just tell me right away?" I'm thinking this, I didn't say it. And they said, you ought to read it. So I turned over the prescription and it said Psalm 42. And it says, "As the deer panteth for the water brook, so my soul longeth after thee, O God, in a dry and thirsty, a dry and weary land where there is no water." The doctor was suggesting to me that I give myself permission to know that I had pushed my brain beyond the capacity of a healthy brain to handle the plane crashes and the drownings and the murder funerals, and I won't go through the long list of things like that. The doctor was saying, it's okay to be where you are. As the deer pants for the water brook, the deer's where it is. Oh dear. And we are where we are. You are where you are. Your hopes are fulfilled to the degree they're fulfilled. It's okay. Your hopes are unfulfilled to the degree they're unfulfilled. That's okay. Because Psalm 88 grants us permission. It gives us validity when things don't resolve. I've seen doctor after doctor in hospital visits say to their patient, "Right now, we just don't know. We just don't know. Let's wait and see." And the suspension of knowing is such a huge challenge. The church fathers didn't try to fix Psalm 88. It's significant for trauma-informed ministry. They read it as a gift given to those for whom praise is not yet possible. Sometimes in our life, praise just isn't quite possible, and sometimes it might just not be even appropriate, at least verbally. There are times when silence is more appropriate. Then Origen and Augustine view Psalm 88 as embracing, as it were, the sufferings of Christ. The psalmist in Psalm 88 is suffering without an end in sight. And when we are persecuted for Christ, the persecuted church, we are taken up into the suffering of Christ. This is not a mechanism that removes pain. It's a solidarity that names it as known and shared. It's known and shared. And I've talked quite a while. I try to stop at 10 minutes, which is 1 minute from now. In a broad sense, Psalm 88 gives us language to say what we feel. It allows us to say, darkness surrounds me. It allows us to have terminology to express the landscape of the soul. And so, brothers and sisters, if you're in a season that has not yet resolved, I encourage you to embrace that season. Know that God is with you in that season and that He has promised sooner or